I invite you to join me, to participate in this inquiry into the miracle of ourselves, to become part of the psychic connection.
Peace and love, y'all. Welcome to the Feedback Loop. I'm Naeem. Wanted to make a video today going over a recent session that I did. This was a practice target that was tasked by Mixlix over on the remote viewing Discord. So shout out to Mix. He just put up a practice target for anyone in the group to go ahead and attempt to view. So, I thought I'd just get some practice in. You might hear remote viewers say they do a validation target. Basically, what that means is it's working a target to kind of like calibrate yourself, validate your work. Show yourself that you're on target. You're hitting, practice targets. You're able to it's kind of just like flexing that muscle. Keeping consistent. So this is like what I call a validation target, a practice target. So I'm going to go over my paper session here. I actually did this on the Remarkable tablet, but, basically a paper session here. And here's the tasking that was eventually revealed. So it says the viewer will pick up on the land-water interface. The area is a beach of the Norwegian coastline. Some trees, grass, and 3 metallic swords stuck in the ground. You can see them, the 3 structures there. It's a monument called Sverd Eiffel, Sword in Rock in English, and it's a commemorative monument in Norway here on the coastline, and it says down here, it was unveiled by King Olav of Norway in 1983. It's 3 bronze swords that are about 10 meters in height each, and they're planted into a rock, and they mark a place where a battle took place in 872. So that's a little bit of history there on the target. Here's a little footage, some drone footage of the area and the target, so you can kind of see what we're dealing with here. Water, land, vegetation, and these structures. So yeah, hopefully you can see that there. I'm gonna stop that. So I'm gonna hop over into Google Earth. This is something new I'm trying, a way to analyze my data and my accuracy when in terms of giving feedback to myself, right? So I have Google Earth here centered over Norway, and then I have my session over on the right side here. So I have the Sword and Rock monument marked here, so we're just going to go down into this area where the target is located. So this is the area in Norway where the target is located, and I'm just going to zoom in. It's right here. So here you can see the 3 metallic swords sticking out right here by the land-water interface with some vegetation. So here on the right side, I want to go through my session and just show how these perceptions build and show how the feedback works in terms of calibrating, a viewer calibrating themselves. You know what I mean? Like, you need to check your feedback, correct yourself. You can't be constantly remote viewing things that have no verifiable feedback. In order to make sure that you're being accurate, you got to work these kinds of targets, right? So here on the right side, you can see I do what's called visual ideograms to start my session, and this is another type of ideogram that can be performed. And you can see right here from the beginning, the second thing I drew, almost like 10 seconds into the session, I'm already drawing 3 structures. Three, this theme of three is already entering into my session. So I just want to scroll down here. More impressions of structures, pointed structures, rising structures. And then let's get to the land, because here's where this part in the session is where detail gets higher, visuals get clear. So this is where I like to start deeply analyzing my sessions. So here on the right side, you can see my land. So I marked land 1 here on Google Earth. And this is what I feel, this view here. I drew these trees. I said, looking down on land, there's trees and land. There's grass here, I wrote, on the top right side. And then I said there's a bit of a clearing in front of it. And I said there's more of dirt here in the front. And I got a sense of the smell of leaves and land. And it felt secluded. I got a sense of forestation and woods. So you can see the shape of the land, how it, here on the Google Earth, how the outcrop of land is shaped and wraps around right by this line of trees, right near the gray, where the grass ends and then the gray starts. You can see here on the drone footage how there's a lot of dirt. It changes from grass into a more of a dirt and rocky area here. So I thought that was interesting. Picked up on that here in my visual. Got a sense that the grass ends here. There's more of a clearing here. So my next visual that I had was structure multi. I knew there was these pointy things and I wanted to see them. So this is the vantage point. I said I see peaking structures above the canopy, more than one. Tree smells. So here on the Google Earth, I found a perspective that is almost the type of visual that I got here. So you can see here, canopy of trees like I wrote here. And right above them you can see these structures, 1, 2, and 3, peeking over, kind of hard to see through the bush, through the shrub, the foliage there. So on the right you can see my drawing. I drew these trees. I say, yeah, peeking above the canopy. I get a sense of these 3 structures here. So I had a sense of majestic, abnormal, unusual, a sense of fantastic and overwhelmed. And the purpose, probing for the purpose of the structure, I got a sense of a sign or a signal, like this signifies something or represents something, and it's supposed to represent, this battle. Some of the articles say it represents peace, or that the tallest sword represents the king and the smaller ones represent a victory. The king's victory over them. So it definitely signifies something. Probing for what it signifies, I got a sense of the past, history, and a timeline. So that was interesting, as it's supposed to commemorate this battle that happened in this area. I did a movement order, which was to move to the optimal point of view for this tasking, and I got a sense of something being erect and assembled, a complex process. So I attempted again to get another visual to collect more data on this target, and I got this visual here, and I feel like that was a view kind of like this. If I adjust the view on adjusting the view on Google here, from this type of angle, because I got a sense of water pooling, the 3 structures here sticking out, kind of meshed along with the trees, and got a sense of pooling, land-water interface here, I wrote. I had another visual, which was an interesting perception, and continued to follow in suit with my previous visuals. And that was this one here. I'm going to adjust the Google view here. I have it marked like this. I feel like it's about right here. A little closer in, I got a view like this. So I've drawn these three vertical structures here, and I've drawn the shadow casting. And I said there's a line of trees up here, some trees over here, and then I said further back there's these three. So you can see my drawing, and then you can see the area here on Google Maps. You have the three structures here, and the nearest thing to them is these trees right here. And I wrote, it's like an alignment, coordinate, bullseye, a pinpoint. Marking, probing further on that, I got a sense that it marks a special important point. This exact spot is marked by this. One of the main purposes of this structure is it's like a pinpoint or a bullseye. So I thought that was interesting as well. I got a sense of doing edging. Let me just bring my face up here for a second. Edging is a technique that I use where I apply pressure to the optic nerve and do a certain breathing exercise, and this enhances the visual stimulus, and you can get like a flash of visuals when you do this properly. So I did some edging on this target, and I got here on the right, you can see on my sketch here, it says, again, a sense of something linear being erected or moved. I see it standing at times, but at other times down on its side. And I also got a sense of there's some deforestation happening around here. But I get a sense of something getting pulled up. So I see it, I drew a little sequence, because I saw this as like a little moving image. I saw this as a moving image, something flat and then being pulled up and erected. 1, 2, 3 I drew there. So that was interesting. So hopefully you can understand why validation targets are important, right? So like you can see in the image here, the three shadows, the trees, the way the structures are aligned. Hopping back to my land drawing here, the correlations between the shapes and locations, the three structures, how they're aligned. Even one's taller than the other two, and I have that in my drawing. I have one here, one a little bit lower, and the third one a little bit higher. So I thought that was, that's the kind of contact that comes through when you can capture the visual images, which is, it is an important part of remote viewing that's being ignored by a lot of the practitioners of it. And then this final, I really like this one. So hopefully that was interesting. If you want to learn more about remote viewing and intuition, how this is done, check out my website. It's www.thefeedbackloop.info. Let me know in the comments how you guys like the whole using the Google Maps and Google Earth to hone in on the target site and kind of analyze the data. So hopefully that was interesting. One love, y'all.